So, while we're talking spinners, let's get into probably my favorite spinner of the three spinning rides that we've been talking about here, and that's Dumbo the Flying Elephant, the iconic. Everyone shows that on all the Disney commercials have riding Dumbo, to entice us to come. We get to ride Dumbo, the classic character, and it's interesting. This one, the Dumbos were designed by Disney and manufactured by Disney, and only the ride system, just the arms that lifted the Dumbos, were designed by WED, and they kind of had a clash in how the two work together. And I know you were saying some of your research on it, and we had kind of they kind of got themselves into a big mess with what that was like on day one, their first run with it.
Yeah, it was
the way you explained it before.
Yeah, so it was well. Look, I mean, it's just that idea of everyone had the right idea, but they didn't talk to each other, right? There was no communication on it, so they designed this great ride system. Yes. Disney was like, okay, we'll design the cars because WED wants it to look X way, right? It wants the Dumbo should look just like Dumbo in the movie, right? Painted just the same way, same size. And they designed these 700-pound Dumbos with realistic Dumbo ears. And they put them on these arms. And Arrow had no idea they were like 4 times the weight they were supposed to be. So when they designed the ride system, it was supposed to be this revolutionary system that they ran by like a NASA engineer with, like, the hydraulic fluid was supposed to work in this certain space, and it was supposed to evaporate to provide a cooling system, right? So like to almost keep everything lubricated. Well, that's great if your elephants don't weigh 700 pounds and their ears aren't plane wing sized,
right?
Where they're going to create drag. So that this drag creates heat. The heat creates this issue where instead of evaporating, the hydraulic solution foams. And it foams in like this big brown muck that comes up from under the ride. Right. And that's what the guests were experiencing day one. And in the research, I saw that it was somebody's job on day one after each ride to go and scrape this brown foam off of all the ride systems before they put the next group on.
Fun.
And all I had in my head, Eric, was this idea of like a cappuccino cup run amok. Like every time you start it, like the foam just is bubbling over the side and you can't control it. And yeah, it just... Honestly, it sounds like the grossest job on day one. If I had to pick a job in Disneyland, like to experience, it's not that one. That is not my choice.
Right. No, that's got to be the worst. And I like the cappuccino comparison because we could have gone a different way that would be more gross with this brown foam.
Yeah, well,
so I like the
cappuccino. It's a family show, Eric. It's a family show. We'll stick to that.
Exactly. Thank you for that. So yeah, no, that was a big mess. And one thing I heard was that because of that mess and the way that Arrow handled it and kept someone down there scraping the brown cappuccino foam, as we'll refer to it too, that's what really impressed Walt Disney. It impressed him. He saw their dedication to make it work, to make it right, to fix it after that day, to get through that day. And that's when he kind of became one of Arrow's biggest fans and decided that this was going to be the people he wanted to work with.
And I think that's a
neat connection.
Yeah, it is, because it also speaks to how Walt felt about quality and how he felt about working with people and working with companies. And it really underscores the collaboration they're going to have in some of the future rides they built together. And we can get deeper into this idea, but it's something that in the entire industry today is probably lost. That idea of that very strict collaboration and great quality that's being put out all the time. It's a different world today. So to see that Disney felt so strongly about the service that he received from this company, that he decided to work with them over and over and over again, is something that I think is very unique to his time and his attitude about running the company. Because today, you'd fire the company that's producing great big brown cappuccino foam on your ride when it opens, right? You're not even going to work with them anymore. That's out. And he chose to contract again and again and again with them.
Right.
Well,
yes.
Or I get, maybe the modern Disney, thinking about this for a second, maybe the modern Disney calls Starbucks and decides that's a collaboration, right? We're going to rebrand. Just throw a Starbucks logo on each one of the elephants and call it a day.
Dumbo foam.
That's right. That's right. It's the
Dumbo
new.
foam. I want my Dumbo with extra foam. No.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, we'll get back on track, Eric. I'm sorry. I'm running amok in my head now. I'm seeing like Dumbo-shaped Starbucks cups in my head.
If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you really like this video, visit synergylovescompany.com for the full audio podcast.